Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the UDL WEC Prologue here from Monza. We've got about 17 minutes already in the books here. The broadcast is starting late because me, Israel 43, was slated to run this race in the GTE class, but due to some errors, it kicked me out of the race, and now I'm forced to be a mere spectator. So, y'all been blessed by this, and I will be the commentator for this event for the next 57 minutes. So just a rundown of what's happened. Pretty much a pile up in turn 1, and that's pretty much all you need to know. So we're going to look through the field here and see if we got some good battles. So P1 at the moment is Texas, who leads the LMP1 field. Second, Spidey. It's a Porsche 1-2. P3 is Daniel. He's in the grass a little bit. Should be okay. He may have lost a little bit of time. P4 is UDL Damage. P5 is Jonathan Ledo. Then leading your LMP2 class, it is Intersport 37. In second place is Big R, as we call him here in the UDL. And then the leader for the GT class is Dale the Whale, who is currently being coned in the LMP2 car. Then we have SSJ Warrior in the 67 Ford in P2, Snipper Pig in the 63 Corvette sitting in P3, and the Cuddly Koala sitting P4 in the GTE class. Now, we've had a few people leave due to crashes and some incidents on track, but it's going to happen. It's an online race. It's the stuff that happens as Texas makes light work of the Ford. So Texas now has a 13-second advantage over Spidey, who's in the number 2 Porsche. And then it's Daniel P3, about 20 seconds back from Spidey. And then we have Damage, who's a good 12 seconds back from Daniel. Nope, not too many great battles on track. The best ones we're going to find is in the GTE class. But looks like Dale is currently got a huge gap from him and in second place in SSJ Warrior. This is going to be the most exciting class probably, because it looks like Texas is going to just run away with the LMP2 field. I say this, and the gap's closing drastically, but it's still Texas who is commanding the LMP2 field. The LMP1 field. So Intersport 37 commands the LMP2 field from Big R in the second place Ligier. Now Cone, and this is actually for position here, but Cone should make some light work of Dale here, who is in the GTE car. He flashes his lights, he looks inside, might make a move through a scar, he makes light work of him. There's no need to really call that like an actual overtake, but I did because there was nothing happening on track. So we look back here. The gap from Dale to Warrior, it says it's 3 seconds, but obviously that ain't true at all. It's at least a good 10 seconds in that gap there. Then behind Warrior is Snipper Pig, who's not too far off. And then we have Koala, who's P4 of the drivers in GTE. Texas is now making his way through some P2 traffic. Forces Cone to take an awkward line. Texas will make some light work of the Eureka. Interesting car choice for Cone here, as for picking the Eureka. You don't really see that car used too often in league races, so pretty cool to see the open cockpit car used in this race. It seems like a pretty good time to actually get to get an in-race interview with Cone. So we're going to take just a few seconds to get that set up. All right, Cone. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Sinister.
All right, Cone. So not a whole lot that is happening out on track, but I guess one odd thing that we've noticed is that you have picked the open cockpit Oreca LMP2 car instead of the closed cockpit Ligiers, which is an odd choice because we don't really see the Oreca used in a lot of league races. So since there's not a lot happening out on track, would you care to explain why you've picked the Oreca and not the Ligier?
Sure. So the Oreca is probably my favorite car in the game. To me, a prototype car is an open cockpit car. I mean, growing up watching Le Mans and ALMS and such in the late 90s and early 2000s, prototypes were open cockpit cars. So it's just something that speaks to me, I guess, on a personal level. Additionally, back when I was 19 or 20, I always forget, I have an uncle who's actually a professional race car driver, former professional race car driver, and his teammate for a bunch of years got moved up into Prototype Challenge in the Grand Am and then IMSA series, and he drove one of the Orcas, obviously, in Prototype Challenge. He offered me and my uncle a drive. I did not take the opportunity because I was a 19 or 20-year-old kid and couldn't afford a Prototype Challenge car if I crashed it, so some I regret, some I not regret, but I feel like that's always given me kind of an attachment to those old open cockpit prototype cars.
Right.
Plus,
right.
being that it's not used, as much, I like being a little bit different, going against the normal grain, and, it's kind of nice to be able to show, that this thing does have some pace, and, with a good setup and a good driver, it can be competitive.
Right. So, but the craziest thing of all, I think, is that the Oreca has actually been proven to be slower in the Ligier and Project Cars 2, and you've managed to make it just as fast, if not a whole lot faster, as you were the fastest P2 car on track that last lap by about 2 seconds. So it's pretty incredible what you've done to that car to make it so quick.
A lot of it, I think, comes to the default setup. The default setup on this car is not good, so there's a lot of tuning that has to go into it to make it quick, but I know Intersport's in the Ligier Judd, and we've been running pretty much identical lap times in both of those cars. I think it's really only the Ligier Nissan, which has a true outright, this car is significantly faster than anything else in the class.
Right, yeah. Well, thanks for talking to us, and good luck on the rest of the race. It's a long race ahead of you.
Appreciate it.
That was Cone Dodger, the current P3 man in the LMP2 field, as he's in a heck of a little pile there with Spidey and a Ford. Not sure who the Ford is, either Warrior or Koala. That was in fact Koala coming through Curva Grande now. But your LMP2 leader, who is Intersport 37, is just dominating this thing. No one seems to have anything for him, except for Cone, who can't seem to catch him because he was involved in a few lap 1 incidents and Intersport was able to get through all of it. But yeah, no good battles out on track, so we're just going to scroll through here. Is that a good battle for P1 in GTE? No, it's not. The telemetry lied to me. It's Dale, who is about a good 20 seconds ahead of SSJ Warrior. It's quite sad. There's no good battles out on track. Back in front of the field, it's Texas, who leads from Spidey. Then it's Daniel in the Toyota, who's in the lone Toyota this race, as his teammate, his teammate XX Driver 13 could not show up today. P4 at the moment is UDL Damage. It's actually starting to catch up to Daniel here. So we could see a battle for the final step on the overall podium in just a few seconds. Hopefully, it'd give us something to write home about. Because nothing's happening on track. So, as nothing's happening on track, we're gonna get another in-race interview with Intersport 37, the LMP2 class leader. So give us just a second to get that set up, and then we will get back to it. Hey, Intersport, you got a copy? Good. Sorry for joining at such a horrible time. I didn't even notice that. It's my bad. Yes, he's in a battle, so we're going to come back to him. So we'll give that just a few seconds to develop out, and then we will get back to him as soon as the P1 car starts to pull away and he gets into pretty much a world of his own. That's completely my fault for going for an interview when he was involved in all that mess. I'm not sure what I was thinking there, just kind of had a brain lapse. Daniel might look for the pass on the forward here. No, he's going to have to stick through for one more corner. It slowed him up a lot, actually. And Damage is really starting to catch up to Daniel here at an alarming rate. So back to Intersport now. He seems to be all by himself, so we're going to try the interview again. All right, Intersport. You good now? Alright, so you are currently the leader for the LMP2 class, and it's quite a large lead as well. You seem to be the one driver who got through all of the Turn 1 madness. So being a leader, how does it feel? Okay, alright, 1 second please. So, a disclaimer to everyone who's watching and just heard that, I didn't see the first lap because I had some issues and I couldn't see the first few laps of the race and I couldn't race, so I didn't see what exactly happened. I just assumed that he wasn't involved in anything since he was leading by over 30 seconds at the moment, I do believe. So please, continue your thought now. Well, yeah, right. So as all this is happening, it looks like a battle for P4 is currently developing in the P1 class. It looks like John is right on the diffuser of damage, but he's in the grass, and he's lost all the time he's gained. He's going to have to gain all that time back. And sorry for screaming in your ear there, Intersport, but it's big moments, but some big moments out on track for the LMP1 class. But yeah, you've got a huge gap from you and P2, so you've got plenty of room to start fuel saving. But good luck, and thanks for talking to us. And also, might want to turn on your headlights. You're welcome. Don't want to get penalized for that, because we know the owners of this league are stingy for headlights and a lot of other things. We'll talk about that later. Good luck, and yeah, thanks for talking to us. That was Intersport 37, your LMP2 class leader, by a hefty margin over Big R, who's just coming out of a Scary now, who takes an awkward line through a Scary as well. But now, we look back to P4 for the LMP1 division. We've got a battle on our hands. It's Jonathan Leto in the 7, chasing down the sister car of UDL Damage in the 8. And Damage goes wide there every single time, really using as much track as possible. And as this is happening, both of these cars have caught up to Daniel, so we could have a three-way battle for the final podium spot as well. And it looks like Big R has pulled into the pits as well to make his stop. Daniel does not have his pit stop, so I don't know if they will assess a penalty for that. They shouldn't, because it's not that big of a deal, but that's just my opinion. And it looks like we have a strategic driver swap for the Audi team. Didn't want that to end that way, but those things happen in racing, and so John will take the lead of the Audis and try and chase down Daniel, who is P3 overall. Yeah, we could have a pretty good battle on our hands shaping up. There's still a whole lot of racing left, so we'll just see where this leads us. So we're going to pretty much stay at these three cars and see if John can catch up to Daniel. He's catching up pretty drastically as well. That seems like that gap really is closing. Since I'm not really in spectator mode, I can't really see the gap and how much it's closing, because the gap on the left is not entirely accurate. But yeah. So all three of these cars with very, very close to each other, so it could be a huge battle here for the final spot on the overall podium. So as this is developing, we're going to cycle through the GT field, see if we have anything developing on that front. We have Warrior in P2, Dale P1, P3 is Snipper Pig, and P4 is Koala. Koala is a little rusty. It's been a while since he's actually played this game, and he's a little bit off the pace as well. But back to the LMP1 class, it's Jonathan who's really caught up to Daniel now. The Audis are charging for Daniel. Daniel's really going to have to jump in here to keep John off of him. Comes John through Curva Grande now, up to 180 miles an hour. On the diffuser of Daniel. Does he go for the move now? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. But Daniel gets a subpar exit out of there, but so does John. Both cars did not get a great exit out of there. Through the Lesmos now, John likes to use as much track as possible through the Lesmos. We know that. Here comes Lesmo 2. He struggled here before. He picks up a little bit more grass, takes an interesting line, but blasting down the straight towards the Scary now, heading towards a Madness Bridge. They might be side by side here, going to Ascari as Jonathan might send one. Thinks better of it, and through Ascari they go. Jonathan nails it, but damage goes off a little bit. He cuts the corner a tad, shouldn't be a penalty. But Jonathan right on the diffuser of the Toyota. There's some GT traffic to deal with, and Jonathan pulls to the outside. Around the outside, Jonathan tries to make it work, but he spins. He gets loose, and he's in the dirt, and as this is happening, it's Sniffer Pig who gets involved in that, and also spins through Parabolica. But unfortunate for John, lost a lot of time there. But Daniel, he's right back on the diffuser at Daniel. He's not going away, despite whatever is thrown his way. He refuses to back down. He's still right on the diffuser of Daniel. Jonathan right on the back of him through Curva Grande. Might send a move here through the second chicane, up to 180 miles an hour. Gonna brake right after the bridge. Gonna look around the outside. Can't make that work. He's right up his gearbox around the outside. No, that was never gonna work. He should have known better. But now he loses a good bit of time. But this is letting the overall leader of the race. Oh, what's happened there? John, he uses too much track, and then he overcorrects and hits the inside wall of Lesmo 1. Yeah, so all this battling is letting Texas, the overall race leader, start to catch up to these two. So we could see some lapping being done in the LMP1 class. But Jonathan, we've seen this before. Despite the damage and despite spinning through Parabolica, he's still right there on Daniel. He's just not going away. All the way down to third gear for Parabolica. Up to fifth now, and he dives into the pits. Strategic move, probably smart, probably some damage he might want to get off his car as well. So Daniel, for the time being, stays P3. He's going to have to make a move on the Ford, but doesn't go for it for whatever reason. Probably some better reasons than what I knew. And it looks like the Intersport and Cone both pitting. Cone is just now entering the pits, and Intersport has pulled away. Pretty long pit stop here for Cone. Not sure what's going on there, and they're finally going to let him go. But it looks like the Intersport's already gone, so Cone is going to have to pull him. He's going to have to close a massive gap if he wants a chance to win the LMP2 category. But Jonathan pulls out of his pit stall. He's going to rejoin P4 of the LMP1 class, make that P5. Didn't see damage coming down the home straight now. So Daniel is about to be lapped by the overall race leader in Texas time, who was on pole who set a great lap in qualifying to start on pole. It was a fantastic moment. The entire chat just went bonkers as soon as he crossed the stripe. Y'all should have been there. Goes a little wide for Parabolica. It's fine. We like the IndyCar lines here in the UDL WEC League. But now, if Daniel might let the Porsche go here unless he wants to battle and try and stay on the lead lap, but thinks better of it, and Texas will. What's going on there? Daniel decided to go for a dive bomb, but still got outbroke by Texas. Not sure what happened there. But back to the GTE class. It's SSJ Warrior coming into the pits for the Ford GT team. It looks like he's taking a set of tires. Think he's just taking gas. Not too sure. Okay, so the LMP2 class looks like it's going to be a runaway unless Cone can somehow close almost a 30-second gap. But he's pitting again. Cone is back into the pits again. Oh, it's going all wrong for Cone. Not sure why he's in the pits once again. But there he goes into pit lane. Going to make another stop. Don't know what for. But, yeah. As a matter of fact, don't know why I haven't done this yet, but we're gonna get an interview with Cone to see what exactly has happened there. Just give us a second to get that set up. Hey Cone, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you've made 2 pit stops in 2 laps. So what exactly has gone on for you to make these 2 stops so close to each other?
Yeah, so I kind of ran out of talent on, I believe, the second lap, and I spun coming out of the second Lesmo, took a pretty good amount of front aero and suspension damage, so I hit on the second lap, and that let Intersport take the lead for P2 pretty easily. So he came in for his normal pit stop just 2 laps ago, I think, right about, and I came in right behind him. He took tires, fuel, fixed all his damage. I took just fuel, no tires, in an attempt to regain some of the time that I had lost to him with that first pit stop, and that proved to be a poor decision as my tires lost all of their temperature but were still at a pretty high PSI after that pit, and I spun coming out of the second chicane and took more front aero and more front suspension damage, so I bit the bullet, came back in, repaired all the damage, got some new tires, and now we're going to try to hunt Big R down for second overall in class.
Well, sounds like a plan, man. I hate that all this has happened to you. Big wave of bad luck just rained right on top of your head here in the preseason race. Thankfully, it's just a preseason race, and hopefully that bad luck will be gone by the time we head to Silverstone.
Yes, you can say that again.
All right, man. Well, it's still about a half an hour left, so good luck on the rest of the race, and thanks for talking to us once again.
Yeah, appreciate it, sir.
That was Cone Dodger P3 in the LMP2 class, and as that was happening once again, I missed a pretty important moment as Damage was able to get past Daniel in the pit stop rotations. But now, that's not quite over yet, folks, as Jonathan's in the dirt a little bit on turn 1. It's not going to lose him too much time, as if you go wide there, you don't lose that much time. But once again, we could have a pretty close battle for P3 here in the LMP1 class. Probably the most exciting battle on track at the moment, unless we get the GT class to close up a little bit. But if I'm being brutally honest, I do not see that happening. So we're going to stick with the P3 battle for the LMP2 classes. Jonathan Ledo catching up to Daniel at a rapid rate once again. Jonathan in that Audi is something to just behold. This is the same dude who managed to set a 3:11 lap time at around Le Mans in that same exact car. That is 3 seconds faster than Amiri Obayashi's lap in 2017, which was called a perfect lap. Well, John, he watched that 3:14 and he just gave them the finger and went 3 seconds faster. So Jonathan has the pace to catch up to Daniel here. So in a few laps or so, he should be right on his diffuser again as Daniel rides the curve a little bit in the second apex of the first chicane. So John's really going to start to close up on him now as he heads towards Curva de Grande now, blasting through it 160 miles an hour. Gonna shift up to 6th gear pretty soon here, and gonna brake right after the bridge, and all the way down to second. Cuts the corner a little bit, but who am I to judge? And looks like Spidey, the number 2 Porsche, is in the pits, who is second place overall. The Porsche having a fantastic day here at Monza. But as this is happening, we could see a pass for P2 here, as Damage is coming out of Parabolica now around the outside of the Ford. And I think he's going to get the move done. And we're going to see UDL Damage move up to P2 in the overall standings. And we're going to see Daniel and John might be able to get past the Porsche as well. What's going on with Spike? He's been held in the pits for a very long time. Now he's finally going to head out, but not in time to stay ahead of Jonathan. So Jonathan and Daniel will both get past Spidey, and Spidey will be demoted down to P5 overall. Now, oh man, Texas is now coming into the pits, so now all of the LMP1 cars will be in a mad dash from here to the finish. So it's going to be a lot closer now for the overall lead. It just depends on how long that the Porsche is held there in the pits. But I don't imagine long enough for Damage to catch back up, as Damage is coming through a scary corner now and misses a little bit, goes a little wide, but he keeps it together and no time lost there. Now I say this, but I think I've goofed up, and I believe that Texas was actually on a lap of his own. So Damage is coming around just to get back on the lead lap of the race. Not for P1, but for just the lead lap of the race. Or is it? I'm not too sure at the moment. But on the map, if you could see, Texas has the red dot, meaning that he's not on the same lap as him, or he's... I'm not too sure, but it says the gap now is, yes, 1 minute and 28 seconds. I believe Texas is on a lap of his own. Texas time, dominating this Grand Prix. What am I talking about? I'm used to F1. Is dominating this race on a lap of his own. I've never seen anything like that. Absolutely incredible driving from Texas. .25 minutes remaining in the Grand Prix. Now I'm not sure if Texas has a mic or not, but we can try for an interview. Don't know how it's going to work, but I guess it's worth a shot. But I do not believe he has a mic. We might just hold off on that. We've got some comments on the stream that I personally cannot see. Oh, and both of them are from a good friend of ours on PCon36, saying that I did a good job on the interview. I appreciate it, buddy. Back up front, Texas. Oh, that still just blows my mind, but he seems to be 3 seconds faster than the pack, so, but I don't think the 24 minutes will be enough for UDL Damage and gang to catch up to Texas, unless my game is glitching and Damage is actually at close to him. But we're going to go back to P3 here. Overall, it's Daniel who leads from John. And then from John, it's Spidey. Spidey was in P2 for a long time, but had a pretty bad pit stop, I believe, which put him all the way down to P5 overall. So we're going to cycle through the classes now, see what we've got. Yeah, Intersport dominating the LMP2 field. So let's look at our GTE field, see what's going on there. Yeah. So once again, the class leaders for each of our classes seem to be almost on a lap of their own, which is just baffling to me. It's no great battles for the lead, but the battle I think that we're all watching is for P2, is for P3 overall. If Jonathan catch up to Daniel here, which we know he can. I told y'all a story about he's at a 311 at Le Mans. It's very possible for Jonathan to really haul and get right back up to his diffuser. But as this is happening, John is not out of the clear either, as Spidey is catching up to him as well, as he is on the exit of Curva de Grande now, as we've got a warning for a battle in GTE. Snipper Pig and Warrior, they're very close to each other. This is for P2 in the GTE class. Warrior's proven to be very quick in that Ford GTE, and Snipper, don't mean to be mean, but compared to Warrior, he's kind of inexperienced. It's no offense to him, but Warrior has so much experience in these cars and so much pace, it's incredible. So here comes Warrior, about less than a second off of Snipper Pig here, coming through Parabolica. Once again, that gap just keeps creeping down. The straight line speed of the Ford should help them out here at Monza. And they're going to have some LMP1 track to deal with, but Daniel doesn't go for these type of moves, but this time he does, and of course he does when there's a crucial battle going on. That's going to hinder Warrior a little bit as he gets a better exit than an LMP1 car. But now he's going to have a pretty good run on Pig here, coming through Curva de Grande and heading up towards the second chicane, which I don't know the name for. But Warrior once again very close to, and both cars have a horrible second chicane. That was some of the worst chicanes I've ever seen, as Pig takes a lot of curb, but curb goes wide and he spins out. And that's going to see SSJ Warrior up to P2. Warrior forces Snipper Pig to make a mistake, and that was textbook by Warrior, applying the pressure to the egg until it cracks, and Snipper Pig cracked, and he was able to capitalize and take P2 away from Pig. So in the pits now, the GTE overall leader, Dale the Whale, already coming out of the pits now. So we will see if Warrior can somehow catch up to Dale the Whale and challenge for the GTE class win, which, if I'm being completely honest, I highly doubt, because Dale the Whale has got so much pace in that car. It's insane, as we just saw a P2 car go wide. I believe that was R, but he seems to have gotten that car back under control. Daniel back in the pits now for a second time this evening. What's happened there? What has happened to Daniel? Not quite sure what's happened to Daniel, but he does not have a mic, so we can't really find out right now. So we're gonna go look at P3 for the LMP1 class, and it looks like Spidey catching up to Jonathan now, as we will actually go on board. We'll go on board with Spidey now, and just see how the Porsche LMP1 car attacks these corners here at Monza, as he has his eyes fixed on the Audi of Jonathan. 1 second, guys. Having some. All right, so give us a second, guys. We are going to get us a color commentator. In the name of Pecan36, decided to finally get online for the first time tonight. So he's going to help us commentate. So hope that nothing happens in the next minute or so, and we'll be right back. Take back everything I said. We cannot get Pecan into the party because this is not my party, and it is currently a driver's party. And it is the party of the Cuddly Koala, who currently sits P4 and last overall in the standings. But this could change as he comes around. Parabolica now might be able to get past Snipper Pig now. Yeah, he's going to make light work of Snipper Pig, who's going to be on the exit of pit lane. Snipper Pig now demoted to the last place overall of the cars running, of course. We've had a few people leave the session or retire. Alright, so back to P3 overall. It's Jonathan, who is having to defend from Spidey. I think here in just a second we are going to get us an interview with SSJ Warrior, the driver of the 67 Ford, who's currently P2 in class. Just ask how his race is going, I guess. So yes, it'll give us a second to get that set up, and we'll be right back. Hey Warrior, you got a copy? You got a copy. Okay, great. Okay, it's fine. So Warrior, you're currently sitting P2 in the GTE class. So how do you think your race is going for you? I can't check it for you. But, so Warrior says that his voice is not being shared, which I've made clear that I will need them to share their voices, so there might be some consequences after the race for people who don't have their voices shared. We'll get that worried out. Okay. Well, if it's on, we've just had a very awkward conversation on stream, which is broadcasted to all one viewer of this race. But thanks for taking time to talk to us. I'll go interview someone else. Sure you can. And I will relay it to the people who are watching in case you don't have it shared. So how is your race going in your opinion? I've got to cut you off here as there is a battle for P3 overall. It's Spidey who's gotten past Jonathan, and Jonathan is in the grass. And Spidey moves up to P3 overall in the LMP1 division. And there's a big crash, huge crash. It looks like that it's Snipper Pig and Jonathan who gets collected in a major crash. That's going to hurt Jonathan a lot, and especially Snipper. Snipper just can't have anything go his way. Sorry to cut you off there, but we had some big action happening in the LMP1 field. So please continue on how your race has gone. Someone's on their side. Oh my God! And it's Big R. Big R through the second chicane has gone upside down. That's going to force him to retire from the race because reset buttons are banned. He's going to have to retire pretty quick. If he doesn't, then we're going to be in a world of hurt here. But, Warrior, I'm going to finally get to ask my question now. So past the whole race thing and all that, you and Snipper had quite a good battle there, and it seemed that you forced Snipper into a crucial stake there through the first Lesmo. So I guess in your eyes, what exactly happened in that battle? And we have some news that's coming in. We've got an update. We have Big R still on the track on his roof. There's a yellow flag, but he's getting help from Snipper Pig, who is... What is going on in this race? 11 minutes left. Big R on his roof, and Snipper Pig just... It might want to hurry up as there's traffic that's coming through the LMP. Some LMP1 traffic that's coming through the second chicane. Oh my god, that's one of the most tore up race cars I've ever seen. Now Daniel is trapped behind the Corvette and the Ligier, but they're going to both move, which is probably smart considering that Big R is missing half of a car. So, you're going to pass Big R for position here, and Snipper Pig, well, he's a good, like, 3 laps down, so that's not an issue. Well, this was a very interrupted interview, and I'm sorry about that, and I'm sorry for getting loud because of the pass for P3. But thanks for talking to us again, well, for the first time, and good luck on these last 10 minutes. That was Warrior, who just got who was in P2 for the what am I saying, for the GT class. Quite an exciting few minutes there, as we had a Big R on his roof for a solid 5 minutes, and Snipper Pig coming back to help, and we also had a huge pass for P3, which I missed because I'm a numbskull. But yeah, I wish I could have got a replay of that, but now John's way off the pace because of that big crash with Snipper Pig. Yeah, Spidey has about 10 minutes to catch up to Damage, and Damage has 10 minutes to get his lap back and then pass him again to pass Texas back again. So essentially speaking, unless Texas car literally self-combusts in on itself, I don't think he will be challenged for this race win. It's quite remarkable, honestly. It's been quite the race. It hasn't been a whole lot of battles on track, but we've still had quite the event here tonight. And I'm just happy I was a part of it somehow, even though I kind of got screwed in the race lobby. But that is for another day. It's Texas time, who's been dominating this race from the very start, from the green flag. No one could touch him. And once again, that lap he was the fastest car on track. Could be a favorite to win the championship this year, but the LMP1 class is going to be very, very tight indeed. All 6 cars was within about within a second of each other, so it's going to be entertaining all season long. I don't think he has a mic. If he did, I would interview him and just ask how is he doing this. But we cannot because he doesn't have a mic. Well, either that or he's just choosing not to use it. The gap from Damage to Spidey, it seems to be closing down. So if Damage makes a few mistakes, Spidey could be en route to give us a Porsche 1-2. Yeah, who knows though? Who knows? Okay, so for GTE, we've got Dale the Whale, who leads from Warrior, who we just talked to in that very exciting moments. Then we have the Cuddly Koala P3, and then we have Snipper Pig in P4, who did a great sportsmanship act to help out R, who was upside down and on his roof, where R could continue this race. I don't think that we are appreciating how much of a class act that was from Snipper, just to help out a fellow racer and to get him back on his wheels, just where he can continue this race. Class act there from Snipper. If he's got his voice sharing on, we're going to try and get an interview with Snipper. So I'll give us a few seconds to get that set up. I just realized I've had a severe lapse in judgment, and Snipper is not in this party chat. So I can, oh my, and Snipper gets on the power too early and spins it to the first chicane. Probably just picked up damage from hitting the foam signs there, but yeah, spins out on turn 1. It's a common place to spin out. But now, R, who's got a new front end, is catching up to the Cuddly Koala, and this is going to be for position, actually. Which is just mind-baffling. So for the overall 10th place, Big R catching up to the GTE car of Koala. Depends on, let's see how ballsy he is. He's kind of weaving back and forth. Picked up a little grass in the braking zone there, but now he's going to be okay, using less track as possible on the exit of turn 1. Should be able to catch up to Koala here on this lap. If not, then I don't know what to say. And also looks like Cone is going to catch up to SSJ Warrior, and this one will also be for position as well. And Cone dives to the inside, and it's going to be the easiest move of his career as he passes the Ford GT. And also we've got R chasing down Koala here. Wish there was some more battles on track. And Daniel is disconnected. Daniel has disconnected from the race. Oh no, that's unfortunate for him. He wasn't doing bad at all. He was sitting P5, I believe, overall. Just wanted to complete this race and get it over with, really. But now Big R, easiest move of his career, will get past the Ford of the Cuddly Koala. So then, back up to P1 overall. Man, it's Texas. Still on a lap of his own. 2 minutes ahead of the field. Four minutes left in the race. It's been quite the race we've had here, folks. Not a whole lot of battles, but it has not been short of action and drama. We've had a car upside down. We've had a great sportsmanship act. And Daniel, we have a report from Daniel as to why he has disconnected, and I quote from Daniel, "The stupid Wi-Fi dude," end quote. So you hate to see it. Another internet failure here in the UDL, and he's back. It's a little late though. Don't know if he will be able to get back on track. Don't know how this game works, but as there he goes. You should see a black screen. That's him leaving the party. Now he's joined so now he can hear me. So Daniel, welcome to the commentary booth on accident. You get to hear my fantastic hit commentary, so welcome aboard. 2 minutes 45 seconds left in the race. We've got Texas gets a little bit of grass. That's going to hurt him so much. It's not like he's got a full lap over the field or anything. But yeah, that's not going to be an issue for Texas time at all. He's going to make light work of the P2 car here. New stuff. Yeah, it's going to take an act of God for anyone to have a chance to catch up to Texas here in the next 2 minutes. Should be about 2 laps remaining in this race. If it's not the last lap this time by, it definitely will be the next time by. Yes, 2 laps to go here in the UDL WEC Prologue here from Monza. It's Texas, who's dominated from the start. No one's been able to touch him. Got 8 liters of fuel left. That shouldn't be an issue at all. That's enough for 2 laps, easy. The last time around, Damage was the fastest car on track, so he's going to end up and take out a full 10th out of Texas's 1 lap lead. But, yeah, so blasting down the straight here, heading under the Madness Engine Bridge, flashing his lights at the Corvette, easily gets by. Through a scar, gets a little grass. That could have been disastrous if he started a break there. Car would have got out from under him, and that would have lost him a lap, but he still would have been in the overall lead because that's just the gap he has. Blasting down the straight, coming to Parabolica now, all the way down to 4th gear, 120 miles an hour in the middle of the corner, up to 170, blasting down the home straight. And it's that time, folks. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Sorry, boys, I had to for the meme, but nevertheless, we continue on. Texas time, 50 laps in the books. His time will expire now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's official. This is the final lap of the race. An hour and 15 minutes of racing will be in the books here in just 1 lap's time. As Intersport, the LMP2 leader, will be coming across the line to take the white flag here shortly. I do believe that Dale might have to do 1 more lap here, but I'm not too incredibly sure. Yeah, but do believe so. But here comes Intersport to take the white flag for the LMP2 field. But, yeah, today it's been all about Texas time. Coming around Parabolica now. What an absolute drive by Texas. This race is going to make him a heavy favorite to be the LMP1 champion this season. Texas time wins from Monza in incredible fashion. So now we jump to the LMP2 leader in Intersport 37. He's taking the white flag now. I do believe he's taking the white flag, and Dale the Whale coming across Parabolica now. I think that's going to be the end of his race. But I'm not too sure. He's slowing up. Yes, that's going to be the end of the GTE race. So Dale the Whale wins the GTE class. But Intersport, I do believe, will need to make 1 more lap. But this is his last lap. Coming through the scoring now, all he has to do, keep all 4 wheels on the black stuff, and he will be able to cruise to an LMP2 victory. He's going to have to get past the Corvette's not going to make it easy for him, is he? But now Intersport's going to dive to the inside in Parabolica in the 56 Ligier in another dominating drive. Maybe not quite as dominant as Texas, but that's going to be the LMP2 class victory for Intersport 37. And that is the end of the UDL WEC Prologue. And man, that was something else. So we're going to get an interview with Intersport here. Let's give us just a second to get that set up. Hey Intersport, you got a copy? Yeah. Yeah, fantastic drive. That is the first race of the season. Well, not really. It's just a preseason race, but you are the LMP2 class winner. So how's it feel? Right. Yeah, but a fantastic drive. I think you won the race by almost a half a lap, if not a whole lot more. I'm not really sure. The gap's a 4-lap lead. Okay, I had that completely wrong. Oh, whoops. But yeah, fantastic drive, dude. Fantastic win, and good luck at where's the next race? It's at Barcelona. Yeah, at Barcelona. Yeah. Oh, good luck at Barcelona, and thanks for talking to us again. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for the UDL WEC Prologue here from Monza. Catch us. I don't know when it is, but in the near future for the Endurance Prologue, which is 2.5 hours from Barcelona. Should be a great race. It's a lot longer. A lot more stuff could happen. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all around. Bye bye.